And so there's no name tags. And the value that we hold around our streaming is practicing transparency with the community builders and community leaders. We are not just like influencers that go and just perform on stage. We are human beings who have aches and pains and real things happening that block us from feeling good about being in community. And so the first half of this event, after we kind of set our circle and we make sure that we have some agreements together on what we're doing here and how to make a safe space, or a brave space rather, um, then we'll talk about one acre pain that each of us is experiencing in our life around community building. It can be as simple as, I got locked out of my house the other day, and that kind of tripped up all my other connections for the day. And I've just felt off ever since. And I don't know if I'm connecting with people. That's an example of a community building ache. It's very practical, but it's still very real, and it can get to us. But then there's other things like community leaders will often join us and talk about just like whatever's going on. It can be cancel culture, it can be just like some real problems with community members. As much as possible, if you are going to talk about community and social VR at all, please try to keep it as anonymous as possible and as de identified as possible so we can be respectful that we're here to grow and share about us as opposed to kind of out anybody else. If you have any concerns about the recording or anything you shared, you can always reach out. What I find though is because I do stream it and it does stay on the website, and people who do have any fears there can often go back and watch what they shared, and they're usually pretty surprised at like going, oh, there's no name tags, and that was actually probably going to really help somebody who might be going through that. So just keep that in mind. And then the second hour ish is when we will go on a little world hop, and you will be able to contribute worlds also. But we ask basic questions about how do the environments around us actually shape how we connect. So, how do they make us and how do they break us? Ah,
Hello, everyone.
Primal, the giant avatar.
Hey, giant avatar.
Hi,
Are you
Primal.
serious?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Okay.
How am I
Glad you're
sitting
here.
in this?
You're gonna sit right there.
Well, I'm
Okay.
trying to see. Is there like colliders that I can sit somewhere,
No, there's
or am I
not.
just sitting?
You could try to
Uh,
sit on the
right.
ground. That's quite the. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, that works. Wow. Look at that. That's so cool. Okay. Well,
Yep,
here
I'm
we
just
are.
sitting in my bed.
You're just sitting like that. The first norm that so norms are basically they're the thing that are the most fluid about how we interact, right? So norms are what we do to make sure we can all connect together in the healthiest way possible. And eventually, if we have the same norms over and over, we might turn it into a guideline for our community. And eventually, sometimes those guidelines need to be more solid and they become rules. But first, we practice the ritual of setting norms with each other. So they're not just the wall of text when you enter a space, but they're actually a living process for us to negotiate together. Um, can everyone hear me okay?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking a lot. All right, so we're just going to go round robin here basically, and you can look at any of the people who have bridge makers as their group, and you can look at the rules box. They don't really have norms or guidelines, as an option, so everything's called rules in here. Um, but you can look at that to see if you want to read one of the bridge makers norms, or you can actually share something from your community or something you wish a community had for a norm and how to build a brave space together. Yay! Polaris is making it. Okay, so welcome, Polaris. scoot in and you're welcome to have a seat next to Carl, or you can also stand out there. Uh, yeah, so Polaris, I was just inviting everybody to share one norm that helps build a brave and cozy space for a circle like this. Who would like to start? Yeah, norms are basically like the softest way that we practice rules, and we're co creating our norms. And this is part of that transparency piece where we share
Yeah, I
one
can start
thing.
us off.
Okay. So Carl will give us a good example.
Yeah, and one that's a good one for tonight with such good attendance here is to have our status on orange. That way,
Yeah.
if there's folks in our communities we come from that
Yeah.
may be wondering what we're doing, we, they're not able to join on us without us knowing they're coming in and accepting the invite at least, and
Yeah.
being able to orient them.
So status on orange is a way to if you have a friend who's wanting to join on you, go ahead and respawn back to the entrance and just let them know what they're walking into, because it can be a little bit to kind of figure out. You're not necessarily going to find a lot of circles in VR chat like this. So I like to have our circles a little bit farther away from the entrance and give you a chance to introduce the group to your friend if you feel like they would be a good fit. Please make sure to let them know that we are recording this and it's live streaming. So, yeah. So, Crane, would you like to give a go at a norm? Just anything that you think helps build healthy community, or a bridge maker's norm, if you know those.
Excuse me for I'm gonna have to cheat and go with one of the bridge maker norms rather.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them right here. It says we should cultivate generosity with your
Oh,
fellow community builders.
yeah.
Um,
So,
I
what's
feel
one?
like asking everybody to contribute is a form of generosity, like making sure that they're involved. You could
Okay.
come down and lay down the law, but instead you allow people to feel like they're included in that process.
Yeah, thank you. That's lovely. Welcome, Frofador. Come on in. We
Hello.
won't melt your metal. You can scooch up to me if you'd like.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Well,
Let's grab it.
Silence should be back, but that'll work. I'll scooch over here. Awesome. So thank
Might need
you.
a bigger tent.
I know. This is just like one of those
And a better
beautiful
avatar.
random moments where we all show up. Um, so yeah, that's a really good one. That generosity is, think about it like we're all building a cozy fire here. And maybe at the very end of the norm building, Carl's gonna throw down one of those new cool asset fires. And so we're all putting a log in the fire and we're being generous with each other, even if we're not quite sure what we're doing. This is not like a right or wrong. This is a try to grow belonging with each other's space. Yeah. All right. So, oh, did we lose our giant who then came a little further in? Yes, we did. Nope. They turned into a giant tree creature. Oh my gosh. So many giants.
That's a
Oh,
coup, I think.
is it a coup?
From Samurai Jack.
Oh. The mask reminds me of the Aztecs. That's really beautiful. Primal. All right, Primal, do you have a norm for us that you want to share? Oh, you might be on mute. Are you on mute?
Am I on mute?
Oh,
I was
now
on
we
There
mute.
can
you
hear
go.
you.
No,
We
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Yeah.
I was saying so many things. Jesus. No, I was saying, what is a norm? Because maybe I'm thinking of a different thing.
Okay. Well, so let's see who else heard what norms are. I've said it twice, so I want to see if we can make a norm out of sharing what norms are. What's a norm? Ah, Polaris, pronouns before introducing each other. Yeah, Polaris, that's such a good example of norms that can be set in different communities to be gender inclusive, right? So thank you. And I don't know that we've ever, no, we have a couple times. Somebody's brought that up. And so another way to do that also, thank you via our chat, is now we also have it in our profiles so we can set our norms. So I'm hey you, and my norms are she, they. And Carl, what are your norms?
Pronouns.
Or
I
sorry,
got
yes,
I got he they on mine as well, I believe.
they. Okay, great. Crane, what are you?
Are he, him, though I have them set as translations. I used to have a patch on my shoulder. It's a long story. Let's continue.
Okay, gotcha. He, him. And yeah, so that gives you a good example, Primal. And going forward in this circle, we can also add the norms to it as a way to practice. Thank you again, Polaris. So, Primal, what are your pronouns? Yay, welcome
Only thing you
back.
should ask. Mine are, where is my, I don't even remember what did I put over there.
See. Yeah, I don't see them on your
Babines
profile.
Frutotrelle. You see it. You see it. It's over there. It's in another language.
There you go. So for translation, what are your norms for the English speakers here?
Honestly, there isn't a translation. It's one of those words that you can't really translate because there's no equal to the other language.
Okay. Huh.
My
Is there,
language, by
like,
the way, is
a-
Greek.
like something?
Something what?
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah, you
were cutting out, mate.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
but I
He's
didn't have.
dying. He's dying.
Mike issues.
It got
Crane,
worse.
you're glitching quite a
Okay,
bit right
let
now.
someone else say it. Let someone else say it. You're dying, mate.
That's so
Stay there,
interesting.
mate.
Yeah, Crane, you've got a lot of glitching going on. I'm not sure if you want to maybe re-enter.
Check my
Probably his
settings.
Yeah,
internet.
probably respawn. Sorry. Okay, so I keep switching up the name norms and pronouns, which is just so confusing. I apologize. My brain is swollen, as we all maybe remember. So please forgive me. Okay, so do you want to try giving us a norm that helps you feel present or safe in community, or read one of the Bridgemakers norms that's on our.
So, considering every community, the one thing that keeps everyone together is trust. So I'm gonna say
Oh,
trust.
trust. That's an interesting one. Yeah. Well, Bridgemakers is all about the question, how do we build trust? And norms are part of that. So thank you. Lovely. Axel, come on back in, Crane. Glad you're back. Hopefully it's not glitching again.
No, it's. I had Unity open.
Oh, that was it. Okay, got it. Glad you're here without Unity. All right, Axel, your turn.
One of my norms, I think I'm just going to bring over from last week, which is just being present in the moment and accepting whatever comes, just come, feel, and then just to let go.
Yeah. Wow, that's so wise, especially in the glitchy world we all find ourselves in. Um, let's see here. And actually, just so that we don't have a closed circle space, because that can be really intimidating to people who spawn in. Theo, again, do you mind respawning and greeting our person? And Polaris, do you mind taking a seat next to me just to make some space there? If you're
Entry
still
point.
in your headset. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Well, maybe Polaris is AFK. But hello, welcome.
Scooch over.
Come on in. Yeah. You're welcome to join us. Yay. Axel's gonna do it. Thank you, thank you. All right. So welcome, Follered. We have quite a group here tonight. Love it. All right. Theo, would you like to share a norm?
Yeah, I can share a norm. I'd put down something like I think it's important. I think a good norm is to set things into clear focus so that we can listen to one another. Because a lot of time we have difficulties with distractions and or ways we connect with one another. But knowing how to discipline how we listen to one another is very important as a norm set for bridge makers, but also as just being human.
Okay, that's interesting. So the word that comes to mind when you say that is attunement. I've been thinking about that word a lot lately. How do we tune into each other? And when we have a bigger circle, that can be a little stressful to start with. It's easy to feel a little lost when we have a bigger circle. So how do we attune to ourselves and then tune to whoever's sharing? Even the giving the pauses to make sure somebody's done sharing before we keep going. And Theo, what are your pronouns?
Oh, he, him.
He, him. Okay. Thank you. So, Follered, are you here with Polaris or just feeling cozy next to this person here?
No,
Okay.
he gave me the weight.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. So basically, what we're doing is we're just listing one or two things or one thing each person that helps us build a safe and brave community space. Do you have a?
The other guy left.
Yep, and he's back.
He's over there.
Ah,
He started. Do you have one that you would like to list here today that you can contribute? What helps you feel like
can you say
you're?
that again?
Yeah, what helps you feel like you belong and you are co-creating a community space? So we've had put yourself on orange so that we make sure that we're able to introduce to the new persons coming
yes.
in. Mm-hmm.
And then, yes. No, that's the norm of the other map. I forgot to see that.
That's okay.
Good to know. Yeah.
But we also had trust as a norm. How do we build trust together? We had attunement. What's the other one that Crane listed? Oh, generous. That we create a generous space with each other, and everybody sharing is a way we're practicing generosity. We're all contributing to building that fire in the middle of our tent that was going to come down later, but it's here now. All right. Polaris, would you like to contribute a norm? Sharing our metaphorical
Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Could you
What
say
is
that?
your marshmallow today? Let's say that's gonna be something I'm thinking about. I like my marshmallows burnt, so it looks like a piece of charcoal. Yeah. I like to build rapport. I don't know how to spell that. Yeah, that's okay. It's like rapport. Yeah. Like giving each other a turn to listen and eating your marshmallow. Right. Yeah. It's like instead of sipping that drink, you're munching on the ooey gooey and crunchy in my case. Yeah. So what I'm trying to ground what a marshmallow would be as far as a norm. I kind of like the metaphor is a good way to put a norm out, right? So it's a body sense, it's a memory. Unless you hate marshmallows or allergic to them, then it's like a don't put that in my face. Whatever is the equivalent of your marshmallow here. All right, Radius, your turn. What's a norm you'd like to share today?
I'm gonna go with the easy one and just say RSVPing. Just trying to let people know if you'll be able to show up or not.
Yeah,
Help with
really
planning.
well put. Yeah, this is a way to care about the bridge that is being held here today. And so if you haven't joined our Discord, you're welcome to click on that link. Hopefully it's still working on our group page. But you can also reach out to Carl or I, and we can help you get that link. The Discord is where we get to communicate in between the events and check in and follow up and discuss. Yeah. Thank you, Radius. Profidor. What's your norm?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Profidor. I go by he, they, or
Oh,
he, him.
yes. Thank you.
It swaps
Yes.
a bit.
You picked that back up.
Yeah.
Love it.
If it hasn't already been said, respect other people's words, respect their time, respect everyone's boundaries, respect how they want to be used as. Yeah, I think that's like a general thing that everything should be applied to for interacting with each other.
Yeah, I think respect was here last week too. I don't remember if you were the one that brought it, but I have
Might have been
these
me.
little, you know how like there's those old toys where you pull the string in the back and then it says something over and over. So whenever people say the word respect, I have to like cover my mouth. But in this case, since I'm leading it, I can say it. So I love the word respect. This is a little hey you doll. Respect is awesome. And as Primal said, respect can be defined as something earned, right? How do we respect somebody if we don't know who they are, right? But how do we keep adjusting that lens? So respect, if we split it into two words, is re-spectacle, right? Re-lens. And so even though I may have a whole story I'm telling myself about the avatar you're wearing, the voice, or the typing or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm connecting to you. And so I'm always adjusting my lens to listen differently and find that resonance and attunement with you. Yeah. And so a way that I felt like Primal was respecting us earlier is Primal came in with a really big avatar and kind of felt our size avatars and then got smaller for a bit and then found a middle ground maybe. So that was a way to respect the group and appreciating that, Primal. Thank you. And okay, and so also another way respect just showed up was Profidor picked the gender norm piece up that had gotten lost there for a moment. So that's a respectful piece. That's something Polaris asked for. All right. So Silent, what about you? What's a norm?
Hi, I'm Cylon, she, her. This one might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I really appreciate when communities take their unwritten rules and sort of like the social norms and actually make them explicit, like exactly like we're doing right here. I think that's a big difference between a group that is allows newcomers to join and a group that's actually welcoming to newcomers, like actively welcoming.
When it doesn't become a clique, purely a clique, and have like external rings that you can actually enter.
Yeah. Ooh, that was an interesting way to be here and then end. Yeah, cliques are so painful, right? It's like coming into a party and feeling like everyone's speaking a different language that we haven't been taught what it is. But it might be the language we speak. We can feel like I'm not getting it and I'm sticking out like a sore thumb right now. And it just kind of hurts. It aches. And so, yeah, I thank you for recognizing Silent. Even though this can, for people who sometimes come really often, they can be like, we're doing another round of norms. We do this every week. But this is part of co-creating. This is the practice of being a bridge maker, is going, yeah, I've said this hundreds of times at this point, but I can still find value in seeing how it lands with you and how we define it together. Yeah, lovely. All right. And Axel, I think you went already. Did you go? Okay, you did. All right. So one of the other norms we have is say hello, say goodbye. So that also weaves into respect and trust and attunement. Say hello, say goodbye is a way to break a larger norm in these VR spaces, which kind of assumes if I leave, nobody's going to care. And in Bridge Makers, we do care, not because we want to hang on to you if you need to be somewhere else, but because you're a human being to me. And when you disappear, I feel lost. There's a space empty. And I wonder if you're okay. And so saying hello, saying goodbye, and trying to be here for the duration of the time, if that's healthy for you, is a way to be here. Oh, another one, when people say hi, yeah. Like when you join groups. Yeah. So exactly. That's a really big norm in social VR is if you weren't here on time or you don't know the people, then nobody's going to acknowledge that you're here. They're not going to come say hello to you and invite you to come join. And we do the opposite of that. We do the labor of it. And I encourage you to also take that up. It doesn't have to be somebody with bridge makers to just go and be a welcoming presence and letting people know we see you and you matter here with us. Oh, we lost Primal. Okay, bye, Primal. All right, so now we're going to move into part 2, or, well, technically this is still part 1, which is usually just about a minute or so, where we're going to share one community gripe, one community pain point or ache that is happening in our lives around building bridges, around building community. And because we have sort of a bigger group, or we did for a little bit there, we're going to keep it to around a minute. And then we're going to all listen to each other. So this is kind of an exercise, not just of sharing, but also of listening. And we're going to invite everybody to take a turn at reflective listening. And so for those of you who haven't ever tried this or heard of this before, reflective listening is echoing somebody back in a way that validates. It doesn't have to add anything at all, but it's a way to say, I heard you, and this is what I heard, and did I get that? And so thinking about it like somebody's going to say, so I went to this world and I sat down next to this fire and I felt like I had come home, but then nobody could hear me. And that's a whole story just in 2 sentences, maybe, right? But if somebody wanted to reflect that back to me, you want to try doing that? What would you say? Somebody want to give it a go? It's making us have to turn our listening ears on. Yeah.
And I'll admit I was not listening to the end of that. I was considering making a cup of coffee. So.
There you go. And so this is a value that we hold of transparency. Thank you, Carl. It does happen that we forget to listen, to respond. And so we're kind of juggling our consciousness. So I can try again if you all would like to give that a go. I went to this world and I felt really cozy in this tent. And then I realized that nobody could hear me.
Yeah. That's a pretty common one, I'd say. That's you might have had a technical issue or whatever it may be, but in the moment, you kind of feel foolish or you feel, like you missed out on jumping into the conversation.
Thank you for your compassion, Carl. And you're offering a question. Polaris is saying, "What about the tent felt cozy?" That is also a different. So we talked about this in our helpers meetup recently, but I don't think you're there for that, Carl. I'm making up a word. There's a different one in psychology for this, but this seemed to really land with the people we did talk to. Reflective listening is literally like just pulling up a mirror and echoing somebody back. Connective listening is finding a way to add to whatever was said and not necessarily even reflect it back. And that's usually the step two. What we're inviting us all to do here is just practice the uncomfortable practice of reflective listening. We're not adding, we're not saying you felt this way. We're just saying, what did I say? Who heard me and what I actually just said? What is the story you heard?
You went to a world, you found a tent, and it seemed cozy. But then you realized that nobody could hear you.
There you go. Yep, that's it. So that is a way to just echo somebody back. And in here, we run past that really fast because it seems kind of like, I don't want to do that. But really, that simplicity when we're trying to synchronize with each other can mean everything. Yeah. Like, I might not want to share more than that. I just might be in the pain of going, gosh, I was so disappointed. And I don't want to tell you that because I don't know who you are. But if you just say, wait, you went to a world and found a cozy tent in different, yeah, exactly, Polaris. It's a very simple way. So if we did it exactly like you read a script back of your words were, right? Then that doesn't feel intimate. But if we do it relationally and we just say, I hear your story, point A, point B, point C. Did I get that? That is a way of practicing respect. And before we try to connective listen, we have to reflective listen. So what we're practicing here is just the reflection, not the connection. The connection comes as we hold ourselves back and we just let it be okay to not give anything additional. Yeah. It's the simplest tools that we don't really learn. It's more complicated first. Hey, Nervo, welcome back.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back. It's funny. I think right as you left, we were going over the norm of say hello, say goodbye, and you were adding something, and then poof, you were gone. I was like,
No, I said,
goodbye.
excuse me. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So we're about to do this check-in round, Nerva. If you'd like to join us, we have room on the couch now. And so what we're doing is we're going to go around. Everybody gets about 1 minute to share a community pain point they're going through, and then somebody is going to courageously volunteer to reflect that back, not interpret it, not react to it, but just reflect it and then finish the reflection with, did I get that? So who would like to try to share their community pain point first? Anything that is blocking you or aching around building community? Yeah, Theo.
Okay. Is on. And yeah, so I've been kind of reflecting a little bit with stuff in the past, and I've talked about family so many times, but I felt like even this conversation would be to go back on the situation because my brother and I were both died. Well, I don't think I should start it with that, but my brother does through the conflict that we've had with my when we were living with my abusive father. there was separation after we were finally away from that space, and we could finally try to think for once. But there was not during those times any compassion to try to help him out because I was still hurting a lot too. But there were so much conflict we couldn't resolve and talk about because part of it he had seen and thought that I was a disappointment to him, and has never talked to me over the years. Always gets agitated, always responsive. So it's been about, I want to say, 9 years since we've really talked.
Wow.
And there was this one conflict I had with him. It was very small. And this was the pain point I wanted to talk about. I had moved his water bottle away from the microwave because I was trying to microwave something. And he very hastily, like someone who should never have any possession, or because he does this a lot, he'll try to hide his friends so that they don't talk to me. He is always frustrated when I try to do something with him. So he jerked it out of my hand to just get the water bottle out of my hands, and I asked, like, why do you why did what's going on? Like, what's the problem here? And he responds with, I don't know, I think you should stop being a fucking fat ass and start eating more healthily, otherwise you're gonna die alone and no one's gonna be at your funeral because no one loves you.
Oh.
And I had to sit with that because I didn't want to just further this escalation. I thought like, what kind of person says something like this? And I had to sit with it for a bit, but I couldn't anymore. And this started a really bad conversation and argument by the time with my stepdad, my mom, and my brother that ended out in a fight because I had told my mom, and he was just going on too. He didn't back down. He said, saying all these things. You don't care about this family. You would rather, like, play all these games to yourself and have no one there for you. And he sees my life as so much of a disappointment, and how much of that is just not true, and how he doesn't, there's too much separation, not enough to talk about these things. And
Wow.
and after the argument, it seemed like my family sided with him from his perspective. And
so Theo,
I'm
gonna jump in there. This is really such a vulnerable story, and I'm so grateful for you jumping in. This is how real we are sometimes with each other. If this is up, we share. And I can feel it off of you. It's like reverberating through you. And I'm grateful for you being here. And as a first go for reflective listening, I'm going to ask you to pause there and see if you can hold and get a reflection back. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Would anybody like to try reflecting Theo back? And again, you don't have to do anything, but just try to tell the story you heard, even just a simple version of it.
I think I could reflect that back.
Thank you, Radius. Go ahead.
Just from what I heard, you've had this difficult history of conflict with your father, and the story with the water bottle and how that led to escalation, and him kind of unleashing on you, and then just the your family siding with him, and these difficult, very challenging family issues.
Stuff caught up with me. Apologies. I'm here. I made it.
Welcome, Volca. Yeah.
Good to see everyone.
Thank you, Radius.
But I think,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Radius got that, Theo?
Yeah, there were parts of what I had said with it. More of that was the details of the story, and not really the parts that landed from my perspective of how I was feeling in those moments.
Yeah. And this is actually a really good illustration of like reflective versus connective listening. The practice here is to give the story back and not necessarily sink into that place of going, wow, if that had happened to me, here's how I would feel. Or I can imagine you're feeling that way. And that can be really intense sometimes because I can feel how big this is for you and how much it's in your body right now. And so thank you for sharing it and having faith that the space can hold it. And Radius did exactly what we're looking for here, which is just give the story back. Yeah. Thank you, Theo. All right. Volca, you are not new to this group, so you've been here before. We're doing a 1 minute or less sharing about a community building pain point. So, do you have a 1 minute thing you can share?
I actually don't this week. I'm at a low at the moment, but it's been only growth at the moment. I'm actually I'm really happy to not have something to share this week. I think that's I would usually, the point is made. I'm happy to not be able to share this week. I think it's been a long time since I've not had something nagging at me, but
yeah,
I'm on an uphill, so I can reflect. But
a norm breaking that is completely welcome here. We do have people come and be like, I will not be adding to the fire of pain tonight. And I'm okay. And I'm here to listen and be present and reflect you all back. And that is completely valid, especially when you've been coming and putting the work in to be with the pain when it is present. Trying to conjure up the pain when it isn't honest either. So welcome, Avalka, as you are. Polaris, would you like to share a community building pain point? And while Polaris is typing, one of the norms we have is using emojis. And that's a way to give back while we listen and stay active. What do you say in these things, though? You're just sharing one thing that's kind of aching about building community right now in a minute or less. Honestly, I feel lonely. Yeah. It's been difficult to connect with others. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. That's so real. Sometimes I think about this circle like a circle of misfortune cookies, we're reading what's on the cookie, even if it feels like a bitter thing to swallow. And that's a really good example of that. Just I feel lonely and I'm trying to connect and I don't know how. Yeah. Thank you, Polaris. I see you. All right, Radius, would you like to share a community building pain point?
Yeah. So I'm not very involved in, I guess, like moderation or But I do want to be able to try to do more community oriented stuff in here and with groups, and I am like I kind of struggle with like how do you actually handle a situation or communicate with people when they bring up like a very serious issue. That's not just something kind of on the surface, like someone's being disruptive and you kick them. I mean, like if someone sends you a message saying that I've been harassed by this other individual, how do you actually navigate these kinds of situations? And so that kind of puts me off like volunteering because it's like I have no idea how to
respond to that.
how to be in that position. Yeah.
Wow. That's a really, really brilliant example of a community builder problem to bring to this exact circle. So thank you. Who would like to reflect Radius's pain point back?
I can
Can I give it a go?
handle that one. Yeah, it's pretty familiar from ages past, I'd say, and you know, hear you saying you're wanting to get into, you know, helping out with communities, and but having that unsureness of, you know, if you'd be able to deal with the more hairy situations.
Really
Yeah.
good example. There you go. Yeah. And you could see that landed. I can see your whole body. You're like, yes, that's it. I do want to be a community builder. And I'm really scared of those direct messages that are just going to like put me in a spotlight. I don't know how to handle that. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Carl and Radius. This is where the fixer in me wants to go. Okay, let's just stop the normal format and let's all give all our tips, right?
Here's all my advice.
Here's all the answers that I've come up with, right? And this group is not about the fixes, even though they feel so tempting to grab a marshmallow and just, you know, pile it on. The question is a doorway. The question is its own kind of courage and its own kind of gift. Everybody here will or will not face that, but has probably heard of somebody facing that and felt the pain in somebody of going, whoa, I don't know how to help somebody that's in that much spin, who I've never seen their eyes before. I don't know where they live. I don't know all these things about them. So, yeah, thank you, Radius. And what I can do to kind of bridge between the fix it me and the format we're doing is say, I would love it if you'd put that question in our Bridge Makers Discord in the event channel. And we'll go ahead and have the conversation there, or I might actually put it in our resources. I'll forward it to our resources so we can get a chat going, because that's a question that comes up frequently. And we can bring the community together to discuss that much longer than we have time for tonight. That's a really important one.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Frofador, what's your pain point?
Okay. So I've been looking inward lately, trying to understand more about myself, and I feel like I keep coming up with this pattern where I try to connect with people or people try to connect with me, and I feel this fear arise where I'm like afraid to go deeper and to get really truly closer to them. There's this fear of letting them down where I feel like they're going to open up more and I'm not going to be able to meet their communication expectations, or I'm not going to be able to meet their expectations for requirements on, you know, understanding them or seeing their point of view or making time for them. I've had a lot of experiences in the past where I feel like I've connected with people and things are going great right away, and then it kind of like just takes like this dive where things kind of dissolve very quickly, where it feels like in order to go deeper, I have to make this person a priority in my life, and I don't feel like it's either capable, or even sometimes I feel kind of bad that I don't really want to. And I kind of recognize that there's this either this selfishness or this pain of, well, if I get closer to you, I'm going to let you down eventually. So I'd rather not get close to you at all. So I'm trying to understand that part of me and how to like open up, or at least figure out where that's coming from, and how to actually build closeness with people and not worry about being like a huge part of their lives in order to be close.
Wow. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't in my emotions and affect, I'm treating what you just shared like it's a piece of cheesecake, even though it's a really painful, soulful piece. But it is cheesecake for me because you summarize several things here that are very related to what's being shared. Yes. And Polaris wrote, it's a big one, what you just said. And I'm going to resist the urge to do the reflection myself because I want to and see who else wants to give this a go.
I think I could.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Could do this together. No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to go, or I can go?
I could.
Let's
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, let's have a Volca go. You had.
It feels like you're struggling against what you want and what you need, taking away from what others need, or not being able to provide back to them. And seeing patterns in your past that tell you that it's going to happen again, even if you're trying to have it not happen. It's not actually that complicated. I suppose it's just seeing yourself not ending up enough for people. I like to think of it as like a social hyperfixation, that you get really attached to someone, they get attached to you, and then after a bit, the attachment fades, and often you can't hold on, even if you want to. I find that happens a lot more in VR than it even happens in real life, because you're meeting new people constantly.
Wow.
There's a few friendships personally, there's a few friendships I've had that have lasted months, but most of them it's like I meet this cool person, we are completely obsessed with each other for like 2 weeks, and then
off they go. Thank you, Avalka. So this is
off
where
to
you
new
get
pastures.
you get to ask the question, did I get that?
Yeah,
Keep it on
I know. I was
social.
getting to it.
Yeah.
Does that sort of reword your feelings in a way?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate reflection. Yeah, definitely. I like how you put it in your phrases too. Feels accurate.
And what I will offer along with that is how we can reflect the body language piece. Something about your avatar and what you said there of like the cliff moment. We're connecting. Oh no, now we're sinking, we're falling, we're going to dash apart. You made that motion a couple times. And that's an important one, especially with that avatar, the curves relationship. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Exactly. Silent, what's your 1 minute?
Hello. Okay. Well, I guess sort of recurring pain point that I've had in like trying to run things and like build community and stuff like that is that while doing that, I have ended up well, rather I constantly end up in the situation that I am very overworked, and honestly I need help. That I am fine with, that part I enjoy. But I guess the pain point arises when I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm overworked here. We have like too much going on. I need help. And the pain point arises where a lot of my efforts in relatively recently in the past few months have been towards like doing extra work in order to hopefully later, sometime in the future, maybe slightly reduce my work in the form of, perhaps asking others to step up and or, take on some roles around places. And it has well, not worked. It has my load has not been relieved whatsoever. And I guess it's just tiring, I suppose. It's like I need a rest. I need a rest. But
So this is a good example where I don't want to reflect that pain point back, because if I did, I would turn into a wolf right now and I would howl at the sky as my reflection. So I'm going to invite the people with words to try this if you haven't tried to reflect back yet. Who would like to try with silent?
I could try.
Okay.
So your pain point is that you're dealing with this sense of tiredness from feeling overworked and trying to get ahead of the overworking by doing more now to save on time later, which should potentially work. But it sounds like you're dealing with a lot of stress still, even with all the work you're able to get done, even at this moment. So there's a sense of overwhelmingness and trying to catch up, trying to find relief. And it sounds very stressful. Is that about right?
So that is in fact about right. But actually, your reflecting has made me realize that I left the most important part of the story out, which was the part that I actually feel bad about is not so much that the tiredness, because that just comes with I enjoy doing the work, but it's rather like an insecurity that like well, if nobody's stepping up to help, right? If nobody's helping, then maybe like nobody cares about the things that I'm doing, or like right. So I think you accurately reflected what I said, but helped me realize that I forgot to say a thing.
Yeah, and my howl was about the second part. That I have a mirror in me around, and so yeah, what happens when we ask for help, when we're trying to be sustainable, when we're trying to invest and be invested in, and we don't get that investment back, and all the shadow we face inside that says maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. You have some feedback on your mic from others. Thank you. Is that happening for everybody here? Do I have feedback going on?
I heard a tiny.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay. Interesting.
Nothing that
It was
interrupts
slight.
anything.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. My audio on Friday nights, last week and this week, is just berserker land. And then Thursday, it's fine. Saturday, it's fine.
Yeah, there have been a lot of audio issues from you, yeah.
Yeah, but it's specifically Friday night.
You're cursed.
I guess. Yes.
It's like Friday the 13th, but now it's just every Friday.
It's just Friday evening. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So thank you for Fedora and Silent. Yeah. That's it's like
I will
cheesecake.
also be right back in like 1 minute.
Okay. It's like cheesecake I want to stomp on, if that makes any sense. Be like, yes, stomp it out. Okay. Axel, your turn.
I have so many, but I'm just gonna go with the one that's pressing. So as many of you know from these meetups, if you haven't, I'm in my master's program right now, and I am currently working on my thesis. And the pain point for me right now is it's actually because I have a deadline, and this thing is due tomorrow. But I have just recently found that with this play that I'm writing and my read through that's coming up with it, is just sitting down, reflecting on what I have written and the story that I'm trying to get across, and reflecting on the meaningful questions that I am going to present at the end of the read through. And it's a big deal because it's like that's like the huge part of the community building where it's like you really hear what resonates with the audience. And my pain point is just I'm not sure if the questions that I have written to present have really captured the way that I want the framing of my reflection and talk back at the end of this reading to really come through with the answers that I am searching for. If that makes, but yeah, that's my pain.
Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Thank you, Axel. All right. Who would like to try reflecting Axel back who hasn't done it yet? So we got Theo, we got Nerva, Carl, I think you've tried. Polaris, have you done a reflective back yet? No? Okay. Would you like to try on this one or do you want to wait? No, thank you. Okay. Got it. So Theo
I
or
can go.
yeah, okay. Great.
So there's a lot of like immense weight on this script and the story that you're trying to reenact for a career that you care a lot for being able to just get it all done too. There's a lot of weight to it. There's a lot of it like the anxiety of am I carrying this weight properly? Making sure if I fall is everything where it needs to be presented so that it represents who I am with my work, and in its entirely to also understand how it shapes a way in which you can fully utilize that the parts of where you want to resonate. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fog right now.
It's actually a really good pause point. Try asking if you got that part.
Did I get that part of what I had said?
Yeah, you certainly did.
Yeah. So I'm gonna maybe offer one other thing there that I heard you saying is to kind of get concrete. You're trying to come up with questions that get people to reflect on things about your play that you want them to take home with them. You want them to really open those doorways inward. And you're arm wrestling and soul wrestling with yourself and going, are these the questions that will open the doors? Did I get that?
Yeah, that's 100. Because like in no way, shape, or form is this play even an easy ask to read through and like be presented. So yes, 100%. It's trying to find those. Yeah.
Doorways. Yeah. That's what I love about questions. Just like the word respect, questions have the word quest in them. And so the magicians of words are creating quests out of all their questions, such as what is your community building pain point? That's a quest. And we're peeking in our doors today and seeing what's behind it. Thank you, Theo. And thank you for honoring that your brain wandered there and pausing. That is your growth in the world, is noticing when that happens. Lovely.
I just realized. Sorry, I was worried about what I would say that wouldn't resonate, and exactly when I stopped myself, you said the words I was looking for,
Yeah.
and it just, yeah.
And this is the bridging, right? Your growth right now is to know when you're losing, it's getting more diffuse, right? So you started strong and then it was starting to wander and you paused there and you trusted your body and your mind to say, okay, I'm just going to narrate that I've lost the thread. That's lovely. That's the growth. That's all it is. And considering the tenderness you're bringing tonight, you did really good there. Just give yourself the chance to be with. You're holding a lot right now. Hard to concentrate. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm going to take a 1 minute moment to say mine, which is still connected to Silent. We must be orbiting in similar realms of burnout. I sit a lot with the archetype of, is this valuable enough so that it doesn't go away when I go away? How do I make something in this very fluid space that wants to stay and be reborn through all of you? How do I ask for help and be shown up for in the help that I need as a leader? And what does it mean if the help doesn't come? And so that's my pain that I sit with every day, every hour, as I feel myself crumbling a bit more lately and having to start to set some really painful boundaries with things I love to do. But I'm caring too much about those things. I'm carrying the main load of them. And I'm realizing that part of the teaching of bridge makers is when to stop building the bridge sometimes. Maybe not the whole bridge, but stop holding the parts of the bridge I've been holding the whole time and see what happens. And find grace in letting them down as gently as I can and seeing if that part of the bridge is just not going to hold right now. It's going to become a rope bridge instead of a drawbridge. So I'm grieving. That's my summary for you. I'm grieving and I'm telling the truth, and I'm learning how to do that in different mediums and still show up and keep the rhythms where I can and find grace. Find grace in the disappointment and find grace in the moment it still works and I can still say yes. And so most recently that looked like typing up a document to my advisory team that said, I'm going to make an announcement about ending an event we've been doing for a long time in the next couple weeks if we don't find the team to pick this up and train on it and hold it so I can step away and trust that harm isn't going to happen when I'm not there holding all the things. And writing that up and having some conversations over the last few weeks and just watching what happens and also surrendering to the death of this event that I have so tirelessly, with a lot of tiredness, carried for over a year now. Not this event. This event is the last remaining standing event if the other one goes away. But the other one might go away here soon. So, yeah, I'm grieving and I'm also loving myself for the ways being a bridge maker and a leader with bridge maker, I'm getting to do the next level of grace in finding ways to close before I just want to do the whole I'm picturing my mom as a kid with the frazzled hair, where she'd slam the pantry door and be like, I can't do this anymore. And then she would storm out and disappear and lock the door. And then we're like, what was she saying? And, and you're not all my children, right? Or, you're not children. So I don't have that reaction pattern that I have to live out. But I definitely feel that as a gear inside where I want to be like, I thought you all really appreciated this, and feel that kind of more like just howl of feeling alone and lost come out. And instead, I'm typing up kind and clear boundary documents and sending them and just holding conversations about what that might look like to kind of tuck this other event in bed, in the bridge bed. Maybe it'll revive at a different time. Yeah. So who would like to try reflecting that back? I was trying to make it simple, but it got a little complicated. So I apologize.
Was it delayed long enough?
Okay, Nerva.
You mentioned that you were dealing with the archetype of legacy, I would call it. Something that is very hard on your heart and it relates very much to your current situation and what you're having to make choices for. These choices that you don't want to make because it's the end of something that you were passionate about. So there's that unconscious side of you that just wants to kind of do the death throes, kicking and screaming. But then there's that other side of you that is more reasonable and is just recognizing that there's a time and place for everything. There's a season and we have to respect that. And if you don't, then you end up losing all the hard work that you've built up to this point. Everything has its time.
Yeah.
I believe that's all I have to really say. Does that resonate?
That totally resonates, Nerva. Yeah. You said that in the way I wanted to be more graceful and say it. And I was feeling my howl. So I was naming my howl and also saying there is grace. There's grace in saying I can't.
That word it can be best also described as the art of letting go and wrestling with that for yourself in this moment.
And letting go in a way that models that. There's a different cycle that I've been holding in Bridge Makers, which just has been so many wrestling pieces in this culture, which is I have said 3 or more people must be RSVP'd to any event in Bridge Makers, or the event is canceled 24 hours ahead. And on top of that, if it's canceled 3 times in a row, it is indefinitely suspended without a group effort to revive it and make a different plan. Oh, the kickback. Oh, the kickback I have gotten from so many here and otherwise. Here's what's happened as a little fruit of the Bridgemakers tree. In the last few weeks, several community leaders have told me that they have started to enact that in their group. And they're getting their energy back. They're setting the boundary of how to measure if there's a pulse in an event and not put themselves out there repeatedly, not knowing who's going to show up. And so this next level of boundary is how to kill an event that's actually kind of successful, but people have not picked it up from me in a way that keeps it going without me there. And so now I'm doing the harder thing, which is going, oh, we got traffic on the bridge. No, bridge is going to go up. I'm not putting the bridge down over and over without other energy coming up to hold it with me. And yes, it's probably an entire team of people because I can do 8 people's things. But I need the 8 people to show up or it's going to close. So legacy. Yeah, thank you, Nerva. Yeah. All right, Carl, your turn. What is your howl tonight?
Yeah, kind of similar to a Volca, or maybe not similar in that it's positive, just kind of posting. I feel like I've still kind of been a little, haven't found my routine again. My schedule shifting by one day. Um, a little bit of it's funny. One of those things that's kind of applies across the board, but just dealing with individuals that I work with or moderate with. Kind of think in a time of kind of uneventfulness, start to become like critical of each other and kind of people, I think, just worrying a bit too much about other people's activity levels rather than just that everything's going along just fine. So in work it's kind of more in the conflict, people kind of getting upset with each other, whereas online it seems to just be a little bit maybe resentment from some people who aren't seeing other people's activity, even though and again this applies to work and the community, but it's a large group of people, so you don't always see what everybody's doing. So trying to maybe the spotlight for that's not really on me too much, but I feel like there are elements of those complaints that are being aired that are true of me, and trying to think how I can maybe kind of swerve that attention and be like, not a no one seems to be complaining about me, but I'm kind of in a similar boat, or maybe I don't know. Now I'm rambling, so that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, I heard a few things there. Is there someone here that would like to? I think almost everyone's gone, so I'm going to give first choice to Polaris in reflecting Carl back. And if not, would somebody like to give another go? Polaris, would you like to try reflecting that back? No? Okay. Gotcha. Okay, no worries. Would anybody else like to try reflecting that back? They'll have their listening ears on. Okay. Well, I'm going to give that one a go. Carl, you're still missing your roots and your routine with your work piece, and you're noticing a theme between work and also inside your communities where people are getting cranky about not knowing what's happening even when they're not involved. And so there's maybe a sense of micromanaging, or there's a sense of just dysregulation and grumpiness. And you are reflecting on how you're a part of that, how much you feel like you're missing out, maybe sometimes. And maybe you're asking yourself, how can I be more transparent here? Even if I feel like I'm doing my best, how do I let people know what I am involved in? Give them the good grace when they're feeling anxious.
Yeah.
Did I get that?
Yeah, I think you hit all the main points there.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Nerva, would you like to share yours?
All right. I have to get these names right. I feel I resonate quite well with what would be Fedor. But instead of the individual, I'm more oriented around the community. So that's where I get a lot of fatigue, exhaustion, and things that inherently are necessary when it comes to like administration or helping people on mass like that.
Yeah.
And ironically, what you said, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I would say kind of elaborates a lot more of what I would say I am resistant to, knowing that I will have to face something like that again if I want to get passionate again. Because I already went through what you went through, I guess is the best way to put it. And it, at this point, as a little sad to say, but I see it as a hard truth nowadays in my life, understanding that I can't expect things to live on. And maybe in that sense, maybe that's what I always needed to learn was everything has its season, and human beings need a sense of progression, and you need to keep it changing. You need to go up to the next level each and every time. And the moment you don't do that, that's where everything goes down and decays, and that's death. There's no like stagnation is death. It's a downward angle. There's only life there is only ever growth and going up. So you have to keep evolving, if you will, is what I've learned. And it's hard. That's hard to do. Like that takes a lot of energy. So it's very, very difficult decision to engage in anything in that regard. And so you end up becoming this kind of sloth, if you will, sitting back and like enjoying yourself, maybe tending to one person that comes by. But that a yearning in the heart to do something more is absolutely there. So that, I would say that's my pain is dealing with the weight of experience, I suppose.
There's so much to that one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, I'm going to invite, does anybody want to take a second turn, or Polaris? Or I will give that one a go also. All right. Theo would like to go again. Okay. Theo.
So much of what you were saying resonates a little bit of what my problem is too with that awareness piece of being put on something that you will learn soon. But then there's that human process that really tears you apart, knowing that you want things in your own way, like to have that sense of that harmony, that identity, that sense of community, like it everything does fade away. It all has the impermanence aspect, and that's so heavy to carry because it's not even a human feeling. It's like you you get set of like a feeling or a vision of watching like a a bomb go off in a way. You just it is so captivating, but then it's so much destruction too. So there is insight to always something painful, but then how do you painful and wise, but then how are we supposed to move as humans to something that isn't causing this cycle to repeat itself in a conscious way? Did that resonate?
It did fairly. The end, I would a little bit disagree, but otherwise, you hit it on the nail.
Thank you. That was a lovely way to own that we don't always hear each other completely, and there was resonance. I'm wondering if anybody else heard the pieces that maybe Theo didn't and would like to say a guess of what else was there. And if not, I'll give it a go. Okay. So the key piece I heard it from the beginning was Furfador is talking about individual relationships, and you're talking about relationships with communities, with groups. And the weight of experience is how you ended what you said. The weight of experience that can help somebody or a community system, and not knowing if it's true to lean in there versus just let it take its course. Did I get that?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So Yeah, to finish this part of our evening, I would really invite us to emoji energy out, all of these deep sharings tonight. Tonight has just been full of hearts and heartbreak. And so just bringing your emojis out if you can find them, bringing them out to just like let it come through. We've really built a circle tonight of real talk about all kinds of pieces. Yeah, all kinds. So that's a shared group gratitude and release of what we shared here tonight. This is so human and so real, and so many layers of pain present. And also the courage to say them out loud and not have them fixed. That's the hardest thing ever. So, the last part of our evening, and just more marshmallows. Yes. Because right, it can feel really heavy to hold witness with all these things, right? So we're going to do a world hop, maybe just one or two worlds, and then we're going to do a lightning round appreciation game to close us out. But this world hop is a way to kind of flush our energy and recognize that even though we're carrying our own pain, we have spaces that are carrying us, and these spaces are coding us with all kinds of things. Some of those things are nutritious, and some of those things are not. And that changes depending on the moment and the person. And if you're on mobile or desktop or in headset or in Quest or PC, there's so many ways that the nutrients can get corrupted and actually become harmful to us. And so we're going to go and ask the question, how does this space make community, and how does this space break community? And so we were in this world last week, and my headache determined my lack of. Usually I try to give us a new space every week, but I was like, I know this space will work and it's Quest friendly and I'm just going to use it. Okay. So we have asked that.
I actually have a lot to share on this one.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of new. So, as you know, it's my world. I very much spend a lot of time in public of my worlds just to look at the way people are interacting with them. And this world is the first world of mine where I have not seen a single bad thing. It has been overwhelmingly wholesome interactions, like far better than you'd see in any other public, and it's teaching me properly how designing worlds can change the way people behave in them, and like the different ways that design can do that. And I think I've properly figured it out. Yay. And so I looked back at all of my different worlds, and I thought, what is the unifying factor between the ones that did good and the ones that didn't? And this world helped me realize that every world I put my own emotions into and tried to create feeling through made people behave better. And every world that didn't was a complete crap fest. Emotions create emotions, as it turns out. I go through my worlds and I think, like, what worlds have I done that created emotions? Like, you know, When the Stars Join Us was one of my recent ones. A lot of that was quite emotional. That's inspired by some very deep headcanons of mine in Outer Wilds, and that was great. Then there's like Under Lily Pads, which got popular recently as well. That was just made to like make a hangout world. I join a public instance, someone's taken the QV pen and written the N-word everywhere.
Yeah.
I've learned that this world makes community a lot more, and a lot of my others do break community a lot more. Just by how they're designed and the way the space is shaped even. I've realized, like, there's the campsite beyond the tent. It's the view of the campsite is blocked by the tent when you're coming down here. This creates natural sectioning of the spaces. That makes community. Maybe these two sections are a little close. You mingle a bit much between them and it can get a bit overwhelming. Maybe that's not great. But I did like a flow map of how people interact in this world and where they are. And I found that having the tall grass, having that makes people hang out in the spaces that they're sort of intended to while creating those spaces. If people got overwhelmed, they would jump in the water off that wharf and hang out on the rocks over there.
Really?
That I never saw coming. but it was great. You'd go over there if you needed calm, you would go over there. If you needed calm, you would go over there. There was energy here. There was energy out here. It all worked. I figured out how to design worlds for community. I figured it out. It's taken 30 worlds. I figured it out.
Yay! Oh my gosh. So here
I figured it out.
You are all watching the birth of a community builder through space making. This is
That's
a
me.
doula moment. This is a doula moment.
I've had a few others, of
Yes.
course. I've had
But
spaces that function the same, but I've never understood properly why. It's been coincidence.
Cracking the
This
code.
wasn't a coincidence.
Yes, that's right. So
None of this was a coincidence.
The code of these spaces require this kind of study, what Avalka is doing, and iteration over and over. Like if the tent was 5 feet to the left, what would happen? If the dock was 4 feet shorter, what would happen? Like those kinds of tweaks are not fun to iterate on a 2D screen and then publish and see what happens. But that is actually how I trained in environmental design, because I was doing it all with my hands. And so it had a much lower consequence to, and actually I had people coming into the space while I was creating, and so I could tweak it as the flow was happening and just keep turning the different colors in the space. And that is exactly what you've done here. And what a lovely...
You know what I've been really interested to do? I want to make a world that's just like this sort of environment, but with nothing in it. And then I want to specifically like get it promoted really, really heavily, so that people are in it for weeks on end, and like people stay in it. And then I want to join the publics, join the friends instances. I want to see where people are, and wherever people are, something appears there. If there's a ton of people sitting in one spot, maybe I'll put like a little platform with some couches and a video player. If there's a ton of people specifically talking in one spot, they might get a mirror. And then you let the space be built by how the people are. I have so wanted to experiment with that, because that could be so interesting.
So yes, Avalka, all of that, and also we have new conversations to have. Before we go to the next world, which is actually an interesting bridge between your fishbowl world and this one, I want to know any other emotions that you all are feeling in this space as we've been here today. How does this make community or break community for you?
I should say, I don't think I properly put together. The fishbowl world is the one that was absolutely horrible.
Yes.
Under lily pads.
Yes.
God awful.
Right.
It was really good for bridge makers. People did not interact with it right.
Yeah. And I could explain to you some of the reasons why potentially. But what do you all notice right now? What has it been like to be in this world? Okay, cozy vibes. Yeah. Other reflections, including if it felt like disconnected for you or intimidating. Everything is welcome here. This is part of the practice.
The only thing that I would say that I don't know how you would fix this, but I had trouble sometimes with people sitting on these couches with their name tags going through the tent, and I couldn't read what they were.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing I could think of,
you.
but everything else is great.
Right. And this is a piece where I have everybody's name tags off all the time, and so I don't think about that as the default state, and how that could feel like it's clashing and kind of in and out, where you can't read it, but you kind of want to. I had no idea what I joined in on at first. Yep, that's a good acknowledgement. Yep. And were you welcomed by somebody to come invite you into the circle? Can you please repeat? Did somebody come get you, or did you have to approach this tent all on your own? You approached it on your own. Yeah. But you guys said hi. Yeah. So right. What if we hadn't have said hi, right? And how does spatial design actually like invite the person who's coming up to also have a consent process? and feel like they're being either told no or yes, so they don't move in and feel like they're trolling accidentally. Yeah. It can be scary to see everybody all cozy and seated. Yeah. Okay, thank you. There's, I'm sure, many other observations, and I want to show you all this one. So let's hop out of here to get some fresh flow. Go ahead and walk through there.
Ooh, that's interesting. This looks like something I would make.
I know. I've done this
Yeah, this
week.
looks like something I would make.
Yeah.
You preload it.
All right, you coming?
Actually, in a second, I'm just preloading it. Before you drop there, Ruth, I want to say, I had a talk with a larger community builder recently. She said that she'd originally been like really, really concerned about my like borderline personality disorder, and she'd seen it as a red flag and was going to keep away from me. She noticed my attempt to change and has stayed with me for that. And she told me yesterday that she'd been like actually really proud of my growth, and I'm just like really writing that right now because it's good. Yeah,
I'm writing it with
yeah, I'm
you.
going.
Okay, yay.
That seems fun.
Okay. So something seems fun. I heard that.
It's spline path follower.
What did you say?
That is something that is it's saying it was saying an asset, which funnily enough I might need one of those soon. I was thinking of making it myself, but if it already exists, then
big.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I assume that's how the fish work.
Oh, right. Thank you for that. I wondered what the path piece was.
Where?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. So then there's the fall down piece. There's a portal back up, but it doesn't portal us. So everybody has to fall when they come into the world.
Oh no, fish are.
There's fish. Lots of fish in here. Yeah.
It's stretched. I don't know if that's just for me. Very
What'd you
possible.
say?
There's sharks in here.
There are sharks.
It's very possible that the fish are just stretched for me, but they are very stretched.
Oh, really? Are you on a?
It's a clicker game.
Are you on a quest?
Okay,
It's a clicker
game.
It's a clicker.
If they look, if the fish look normal, then in that case, then it's just me.
I just felt my hand vibrate.
Oh,
Is that?
I wonder.
What did you say, Avalka? It's a clicker game?
Now
Yeah,
it looks
there's
good.
a thing over there that you press the button repeatedly to get points, and then you add to the fish. I don't know. I think it's quite funny.
You can grow
It's
the
a
fish.
it's an idle
is
game.
What you're saying?
It's an
Okay.
idle game by the looks of it. One of those very very low effort ones.
I see.
Friend.
Okay, so we've got a crab spider. All right.
My house runs at least 300 fish per second. Let's be real here.
How are you getting to 300? Like, when you buy the mouse,
that?
maybe there's a confusion. Okay, this thing increases how many clicks.
Oh, okay.
So every click I
That makes
do,
sense.
I'm clicking like 20, points
There we
very
have one
quickly.
fish per second.
So by the free version is one fish at a click, and the paid version is 15 fish at a click.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's yeah. The way idle games work is you're always spending the points you get to increase the amount of points you get over time.
And
I know.
Are we actually seeing?
It's like capitalism, but not at all like capitalism.
Yeah. Are we seeing? Am I supposed to be seeing additional fish appear around us, or just?
No, this is.
I
standalone
would be very
to this
surprised if it did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've
it
many
seems to
critiques
just
of this
be-
world
It
so
doesn't
far.
seem to be doing that.
I have many. Yeah,
That'd be
that
really
is.
cool.
It is
if
good
that
to
was
notice
true.
bad things about
But,
worlds.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
think
so
it's good to see where
this is
change
a
can be made.
question, right? How does this make or break community? This kind
I
of
have to resist
game.
the urge.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is a distraction.
I
It's a
must walk through
distraction.
the circle. I
Okay.
see a hoop, I must walk through it.
Oh, I see.
Tail
You're
loop.
talking about me.
Whoa, go down
Oh.
here.
Look at this.
Okay. So what's
Now you're thinking with
interesting?
portals.
What's interesting there
Oh, my
is
head's getting
instead of
tired. I'm
getting
gonna
sucked
leave it
into
at that.
clicking on the fish, Valka just invented their own game, right? I'm going to chase your tail. I'm going to find a
Interesting.
loop. And so
Yeah.
this is actually
That
part
was
of how
partly 'cause of-
communities will cope with empty spaces is they will start to play games with each other that may or may not be consenting experiences. Okay? And now we have another person that's feeling
Mhm.
like, look,
And
look, I'm
we've
so
we've
attracted
found our
to
little
that
playpen.
space, right?
This is
Your
the talking
tail-
circle. I'm in the talking.
Your tail gives a safe space to be in a place that is trying to get me to
Mhm.
buy
Mhm.
something just compulsively.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
he was gonna drown. Jeez. Oh god.
And so also notice that the floor in here, there's no way to be snug, right? The
Mhm.
floor
Oh, yeah.
always
Mm.
drops you down a little bit. It doesn't give you that sense of being able to find your corner, right?
It's also the whole world is also very much not human scale. It's huge.
Mhm.
There's
It makes
a
us
sense
feel
of like
in a fish tank.
like just as the world creator here, I feel like if I were to make this exact same world, I would make it like to like a this sort of scale.
Oh,
I feel
look
like
at
you just have like a
that.
few little sitting areas in each. You would like. I feel like being at this scale makes this world feel a lot better.
Interesting. Would
I
anybody
feel like
like
this
to
world is better when you're huge.
experiment with your avatar size to just see what it's like?
The
And
world is better when you're bigger.
if people don't know
Definitely.
how to do that, let me know and I'll help you scale up.
This does make more sense, actually.
Oh, this does feel a lot better. You're
I
right.
am disappointed that
Good
I can't
catch.
go outside.
It's the space
Okay.
feels
feel right
conjunctive
now.
when you're
Yeah.
I
huge.
want to join the fish.
You want to
I
be
wanna
with the
join the
fish,
but I cannot.
right?
I
And
feel
so
like I'm
now
moving too slow.
now we're in a
Oh.
fishbowl with the fish outside of us, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
now
yet
the jump height and the move speed feels like
yeah,
it's
it's
equalized
off.
to the
Right.
amount.
Yeah. Wow.
Octopus.
So let's
to clip out.
Oh wow, look at that. That's
They will not
interesting.
let you go home.
Mechanical fish. Let's
You must
circle
be with
up
the fish.
here. I'm going to get my avatar height back on the ground. And I'm just going to have a seat and see if everybody finds us again because we need to close up here. We're at the end. But it definitely, between those two worlds, gave me the chance to do a little refreshing and reset after all the circling we just did. I am Nemo. Let me out. Find my dad. Ah! Yeah, there is a clownfish in that little anemone over there. So we're gonna circle up now and do our closing checkout.
Oh.
I love all the quips that everybody's giving. This is what I love about doing this exercise is the group creature effort to digest the space and feel each other in it. I travel with an environmental designer at least once a week through worlds and different apps, including here. And we have a lot of fun, but it's a whole other thing to do this as a group and notice the creature we became by sitting with each other in our pain. Notice how we felt an intimacy to interact, but not harm. Notice how we got playful and we listened to each other. We were popcorn flying all the way around, making both kind observations and also curious ones of what was happening in our bodies. These are all the reasons I love to pair these two parts together on Friday evenings. There is a reward to being in the in between before we go exploring. And I loved your beautiful joke, Polaris. Polaris was saying that they want to go find their dad, and they are Nebo. And and so this last part, we're gonna do a little faster than we normally do. Usually we have about 20 minutes. If you have a hard stop right now and need to leave, we'll have you go first. But it's called the appreciation game. And you've probably done something like this before, but this one is about continuing to notice and pick up on who has been appreciated and who has not. And so I often say there's this invisible appreciation ball right in the center here, and it's full of all the energy we played with today. And we are going, and yes, sometimes people bring us these actual balls.
I can't place it in the world, unfortunately.
The reason I do this, and
Yeah, I
this
can
is
just-
something I've done for years with people in physical reality also, is this is the time that we get to, whether you're on desktop or in headset, we get to do this as a group and let our bodies get into it. We're kind of waking our bodies back up. We've been holding still for a long time. And so when I throw the ball to somebody, so I'm going to start with Nerva. I'm going to throw you the appreciation ball. You get to catch it. And sometimes it gets really big in the air when it goes over, and sometimes it gets tiny and you wear it on your nose or your toes. But you get to hold your body language open when you're receiving that ball, and that actually lets your body take in the acknowledgement. My appreciation does not have to be complimentary, it can be something tougher, like Nerva, something about you was hard for me today, but it grew me, and this is what I'm grateful for. In this case, however, I do have an appreciation that is more from the heart and from a sense of feeling connected to you. And in this case, I'm just gonna say, even though your avatar is sparkly, when you were sharing, I felt like all the sparkles stopped sparking, and I was just looking at a window into the universe and feeling a soulful voice come back through that was both heavy and also accepting. And it reached me in a place I didn't know I needed. So thank you. And now, Nerva, you have the ball, and
Can't say that.
You get
Really,
to,
that like reflection really hit me
yeah,
in the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
And so you get to hold that ball and find somebody in this circle here that you want to throw it to. In the beginning, the appreciation game is easier, but I'm going to challenge all of you to recognize that even if you don't get to appreciate whoever you thought you were going to, we all grow each other in every moment. And I'm going to challenge you to find one thing about whoever is left to appreciate that did grow you, even if it was just like something really simple. All right. So, Nerva, who would you like to appreciate? Let's keep it to 30 seconds if possible.
I think I'll toss it over to Theo.
Theo. Okay. He caught it on his head, but on his desktop,
Yeah,
he's holding it in his
that's
body,
good.
hopefully.
I really appreciate um, the growth that you are expressing in this space. It's first time here, and I don't know very much, but I can tell you're doing really well for yourself, and even in your story, it's hard to hear, and I sadly don't have much relation to those things you're dealing with, but I also know that carrying that and bringing that is a true strength, and I really appreciate seeing that. I want to thank you.
Oh, yes. So
Thank you,
lovely.
Nerva. Yeah, I always try to share something. When I share something from my past or something traumatizing, I always ask the question: Is this me? Is this me? I'm trying to find that, trying to understand that, trying to see that in others, and I put a lot of my identity to figure these things out with others. I put a lot of heart and soul where I go, and I appreciate you seeing that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Theo. Go ahead and throw your ball. Profidor, or was that for
Avalka.
you knocked Avalka
Avalka.
out?
Okay. I guess.
That was a heavy beach ball.
You built that thing with concrete. Calm down.
I did not. You just your face went into it. I'm
You got
sorry. I
density.
didn't mean to
You
throw
got
it.
density too.
I'm just made of like feathers.
Yeah,
What's
that's it.
funny is part of my appreciation is actually something about you, Avalka, that I've noticed. You like to cut me off a lot, and I appreciate that. About how sometimes I should, because I know Hey You does it too, and some others. It's like I should just talk less. I can try to talk less, and I can always work on that. And Avalka, you have a lot of energy and.
Oh, hold on, Avalka. Just hold.
I'm gonna cut you off again. I'm kidding.
Yeah, nice.
You just have so much energy, right? You have so much energy, and you can vocalize so much space with your world, and also like that honest sincerity and transparency and open-mindedness to be in the space anytime, anywhere, and for any community member at any time, anywhere. You're very genuine and sincere, that I see. But I appreciate the energy, I think, a lot, because that's something I try to emulate too. But I see you having so much passion and having so much space to vocalize that passion too. I admire that, and I appreciate that.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah.
That hits a lot of doubts really hard, and I think I cut you off a lot because you're someone I'm comfortable with, and I really like the things you say and want to add to them. To be fair, I think if I cut you off a lot, it's because I genuinely enjoy your presence as a person. So maybe I should look at that. Oh gosh, thank you though. I feel like I've spent a long time being very ingenuine, and I'm trying to actually see myself as being genuine instead of just faking things, and that, yeah. I'm managing.
Who are you going to throw the ball
Mm-hmm.
to? 30 seconds.
I was actually going to throw it at Silens. I'm not sure exactly how to say your name, but I noticed you have a lot of energy in your joystick. I've been thinking about it. Like, we joined here, and the world was a bit big, and I feel like you just got zoomies. And I just really appreciated seeing someone absolutely zooming the hell around. It's a small thing. It just feels great.
It's definitely.
I think it's good to have zoomies. I think you had the energy this world provided you the space. You've been sitting down for a while. You had to get it out. And you went. You did not hold yourself back. You let yourself be yourself, and you had the zoomies. That is good.
Lovely.
I think it's genuine. Yeah.
Okay. You got the ball.
Hold on, let me. I don't have a ball, but I can.
Wow.
I'm aggressive. I'm barrel. I have rabies. I can attack.
Okay. Juggling the ball.
I'm actually going to pass it to Axel here.
He jumped and caught it on his nose.
I
like this.
Really appreciated. I guess when you kind of like made space for everyone when we were kind of sitting around the circle. I guess I really hold the always leave one chair open. I guess it's not chairs in VR, right? But we always leave one space open in the circle. Because that's something that I really appreciate. So thank you for that.
Perfect example too. Behaviors count as how we are impacted, and growing conscious of those and healthy community building behaviors, 100%. That's exactly what we get to be appreciated for. All right, Axel, where's your ball going?
I'm going to throw it to you. What I appreciated is like just the raw questions that surround the community building, such as like, what I'm creating going to continue to be what I have envisioned for it in like that sense. That the legacy kind of stays there, but yet it still allows for growth and continuation.
Ooh, it's a challenging, beautiful reframe of what I was saying, but yes, I will get there eventually. Thank you. All right, I have the ball twice. Ooh, this is my favorite thing. All right, I am going to throw this ball at Radius. Radius, catch the ball. You got it. Radius, I appreciate full circle moment, seeing you come back and have energy in your body and how interactive you've been today. You have no idea what that means to me. I had a ache in my heart the last time I heard from you, and to see you come back is just a lovely, sweet moment to see that we can loop that far and still find a way to return. Thank you for being here and being you, more you. Yay! You're radiating.
Yeah.
Yay! Yeah. Who would you like to appreciate here who hasn't gotten the ball yet? And if you need help knowing who that is, just let us know.
Hey, Polaris?
Polaris! Are you still here with us, Polaris? Yes. Polaris is still here, jumping up and down. Okay, Polaris. Polaris sat down for the ball. Okay, so it's in Polaris's lap.
Is this?
Yeah.
Say, I appreciated you sticking around for the whole event, and I remember earlier you had declined to
share
to share, and that like I guess I
Oh.
just appreciate you were able to communicate that.
Yeah, lovely. And right as you're appreciating Polaris, Polaris is appreciating everybody, which for those more seasoned to my random hey you rules is not always allowed, but for newbies, we accept it as a gratitude. Yeah, so glad you're here, Polaris, just as you were. You set the boundaries, but you stuck it out. You dropped some jokes at the end, and that matters so much. And so I'm glad you're with us in this learning environment. Is there anybody here that you would like to appreciate directly? And so it doesn't turn diffuse, but you have a sense of, I appreciate you for this thing. So the remaining people who haven't been appreciated include Frofador, I believe, and Nerva. Yeah. And if you want to roll the ball, throw the ball to Nerva. Okay. I'll throw it for you. Whew. Nerva's got it.
I have it again.
Oh, you have it again. You were appreciated. Okay. Because I appreciated you before. Okay.
Yes.
So actually it's Frofador then. Yeah. Okay. So
I can pass it back.
you're like, I'd pass it back. Okay, so Frofador, we're gonna close this out. I get to appreciate you. Catch it. There we go. So Frofador,
Okay,
I appreciate again. I know I've said this like 4 times already in the different ones, but more and more as you speak, I feel like your avatar is a bell that is singing a song to me from different bells. And so today, when you talked about the ache of going off that cliff and not knowing how to be intimate, I realized how all these different pieces, or many of them, are not actually connected. They're suspended in air, just kind of like magnetically touching. And so feeling that separateness in you and the care that you put to that and appreciating how you designed some of those boundaries into your avatar. I appreciate you. So you get, yeah. Has everybody been appreciated? I believe so. Yes? Okay.
I think so.
So if you would like to appreciate one more person, because everybody gets to go, or you can take the ball home with you, which I think you have a few times already.
Oh, yeah, I might have a couple times. I'm gonna Actually,
collection.
I'll toss it to Polaris. Actually,
Polaris, you
I've
get it
really
twice.
appreciated
Oh.
their energy with the
Mhm.
text
Yeah.
and the typing.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen anyone use the text to this extent where they're typing so quickly and have all this emotion to also like throw into the chat.
That's true.
I
That's
think it's
true.
really unique,
Yeah.
actually. And even though I know they didn't share much, but I was always interested in learning more about what they were going to like
Huh?
try to type out really quickly.
Motion.
See, that's like
Whoa.
you
That
can do like
captures it,
cool
right?
wordplay.
Look
That's
at that.
exactly what it's like.
Inside the
The
ocean.
advantage of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So talk about a creator with how to put letters together and still have presence. That is its own kind of secret skill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my dears, let's grab a photo, and that is our evening tonight. Where should we take a photo for our evening? Is there a perfect spot, or should we just do it right here with the crazy freaking monster anglerfish behind us?
Are there any good spots here? This is a weird world.
It's a weird world, for
Stay
sure.
here, probably.
Don't look too
Don't fall
deep
off the
into
edge,
the
though.
creation of it. Yeah.
I know where I must always be in photos.
Honestly, it's probably best here. Yeah.
You go up in the air. Oh, that's lovely. All right.
I'm
so
always
this,
up in the air.
instead of saying cheese, what
I'm
we get to
sort of-
do is we all get to say a word that comes to mind at the same time and see which one seems to resonate. Oh, and my camera just got weird. Let's see here. Why did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, what is our word for the day? And we'll say goodbye to our viewing audience. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Good on scripting.
Pasta.
Pasta.
Fish time.
Pasta.
Pasta.
Fish.
All right. Okay, we're
Me and my
gonna do
hatred of
pasta
udon
because
gets
pasta is
it.
perfectly
Pasta.
random. Pasta. Somebody's hungry.
Pasta.
Pasta. Okay. And then let's all send emojis to whoever watches this now or in the future. Thank them for joining
I
us
can
on our
send very
journey.
unfitting emojis here. Given that it's kind of like you finished up a movie.
You can send whatever emojis you want. Oh my goodness. There we go. Send them